I'm ready when you guys are. We can just start it real naturally if you want to, take a
I
deep
feel like I'm
breath.
about to do a triathlon. I'm all nervous.
Okay, I'm ready now. Okay?
Yeah.
Right. Do you remember that Thanksgiving when Debbie came to visit? That, to me, was probably the thing that took me right over the edge. Everybody was against me. Roger was against me. Debbie was against me. It was a family thing, and I knew you needed help. And that was when I started, and Debbie helped me. We called California, we called Florida, we called Utah, we called all these places, because money was tight. Do you remember that time?
Mm-mm.
You have no memory of that?
I don't even remember the Thanksgiving now.
No, it was really, really difficult.
What was it that I did?
I think it was the very first time I admitted to myself that you really did have a problem. There was something I didn't understand. And I think you were just asleep on the table, at the table, the dining table. You were rude. You'd giggle for 5 minutes or 10 minutes at nothing, and then you go back to sleep. And I was kind of fighting the whole family.
I think that I always knew I had a problem, but I thought it was a manageable problem. So I guess would be like, for me, recognizing when it wasn't manageable anymore. Because even in New York, I was using the whole time, but I felt like I had control of things. Like I had a little bit of a thumb on things, I could hide it enough where I felt like it wasn't completely obvious. And when I came down here to Florida, and then I got clean for a little tiny bit as far as, the opiates. And then it kind of escalated here, I would say. And I think really after Dad died was when I recognized me being completely out of control. But I don't really remember when it was that. It was like all of a sudden I was in control, and then I don't even remember when I was completely out of control because all of a sudden it was there,
I think it was from when Joe was here.
Yeah, it probably.
From then it seemed to go really, really bad.
Right.
And didn't sort of climb uphill again.
Right, and then it was, that was when the cheating and the lying and the stealing and that was like all day, every day, And I was always constantly like worrying about how to hide what from who, because I spent all my time hiding everything from you, like all the family, Joe, like the whole, everybody. And I was consumed by hiding the addiction, finding the substance, like it was an all day thing, like it was consuming. And so, I really didn't notice my actions per se because I was so consumed by hiding and finding,
I think the first time I knew there was something, but I thought also that I'm a mom and I can fix it.
Right.
And when you lived in the cute little house by the water, and you had, you started cutting yourself. You said you got spots, and you were cutting your arm and cutting your face, and from then on.
Right.
But again, I thought I could fix it. But the first time I realised I couldn't fix it was the Thanksgiving, and you needed help. I think one of the things that was the hardest for me was that initial acceptance that there was something, again, not 100% sure what it was, but knew there was something, was when you were cutting your face and your arms, and you'd say, look, can you see this? Can you see this? And I'd be like, no. So I felt like I had to be with you 24/7. And then you got the job that offered clients alcohol, as a courtesy, and I spent more money in that store because I felt that I should be watching you 24/7. And sometimes which you don't know, I'd just park my car and just be watching you through the window to see if you were okay. So if you did anything wrong, I could protect you. I remember that bit.
Wow.
But that didn't work, did it? What was the next bit? When you started falling asleep all the time, and I think the real big one for me was when you wouldn't respond to me on your birthday. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
What?
No, you can carry on. I told him I'm not a crier, so.
No, you're not. But I am. When you came back from treatment, and I'd redecorated all your room. Oh dear. Okay. Okay, I decorated your room. I thought if I change everything, papered, painted, do you remember?
Of course.
New bed covers, new furniture, you'd have a fresh start, but it didn't work. I wasn't going to do this. Oh dear.
It's hard.
But I don't know why I'm doing that, because it's nice now. And do you remember that birthday?
I just remember it not coming till really late in the day.
I've been calling you all
Day. And
every
I
hour.
think I don't even remember what I was doing. I have no idea. I was probably trying
was
to
a-
find shit.
There was a group of friends in the house, obviously fellow users, and you got that cute apartment, and they were all in there. But it did. At this point now, I was ready to divorce my husband. I was ready to dump all my friends because they were all talking negatively and they were all being know-alls. And I thought I could fix it. And I did kinda, but I didn't do a very good job. But I finally got you the right place.
Judy, can you speak to Kelly about what it's been like for you to watch how she's changed and to watch part of her come back, the part of her that was lost for a while?
Oh, I can do that one easily.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
easy.
finish it. Good know.
Yeah.
Can you maybe think of some memorable times, like when you visited her, as like specifically around the time that she was from Into Action, that any kind of things that stand out when it comes to?
You know, the first thing that stands out to me is the day we dropped you off here. Me and Christopher came up together, well, the three of us came up together.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the evening. We stopped at the garage down the road. You wanted soda before you came in. It kind of reminded me of when I went to hospital to give birth to you, because I got to the hospital and I was in labour and decided I needed to get some mint. So I did 3 trips to a shop going round and round the block because I didn't want to go in. And that's what kind of reminded me of you at that time. And we came and we dropped you off. And I honestly felt at that point, it could have been wishful thinking, I don't know, but I felt like this was the right time and the right place to be. And then just a few weeks later, when we got to come to the open house or the parents' day, whatever it was called, to see you already, still not 100% and still not my little Kelly, but to see you improved to such an extent was unbelievable. And obviously all the time you're nervous and I'm watching you, thinking, is he going to make it, is he going to make it? But I kind of knew it would.
you know, when I came here, you know, there was things that had happened that were different that time, you know, as far as me actually trying to get help, you know. And then I didn't feel very different for a while, like I felt, but what I wasn't doing was making promises. Like, you know, it was like, I'm not going to say anything because I felt like I was going to still mess up, you know. So, and I think that was maybe the beginning of a change. And then as I got better and better, you know, it's just like they say, you know, who you love the most, nothing changes. And it was as if I'd been on vacation for the past 15 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'd been on this, like I'd been on one side of the world and you'd been on the other, and then all of a sudden I came home. That's what it felt like, you know?
Ooh.
Ooh. So, and then you were like the best friend, the mom that pretended that the time hadn't even been gone. Like you just pretended like 15 years wasn't gone, and it was still 15 years ago just the next day. So, you know, for me, that allowed me to move forward, you know, and you didn't harp on me and you didn't make me feel bad. And then I just could get better and better. And now I feel like we have a relationship that's even.
Yes.
You know, I feel like I can talk to you. I feel like you can talk to me. I feel like I can set boundaries, just like I feel like I hope you can set boundaries. But I feel like we can have an adult relationship, which I don't think we've ever had. Because I was a kid, and then I was an adult on drugs, so I was a kid. You know? So now it's like I have a best friend and a mom, you know? Because we're adults now.
It really is nice to have, because you went from being a child, because you were 16, 17, and you did the childhood things then. Then when you turned into an adult, you stayed a child.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true. Now, it's true. I've got a friend and I can say to you, you cooked the Thanksgiving dinner this year, which I've never ever been able to say that.
Right.
Never. So it's true. We've grown.
Right.
Well, I can actually say how proud I am, because I really am. I'm proud. You got through it. You made it. You worked hard. Came out absolutely flying. Now you're helping others. I couldn't be more proud ever, no matter how hard I tried. And you're the best little girl in the world. And as much as I say you're an adult, you'll always be my little girl.
Right. And like I said, I don't think I can put into words, because I don't think there is. The only thing that I can do is just to continue to do what I do, which is to stay sober, be honest, be open, because words meant so little back then, you know? And I think you'd agree, like, actions speak a lot louder than words, and especially when it comes to this disease, because a lot of the time I did a lot of this, and I didn't show anything for it. So, you know, I feel like I try to show instead of, you know, speaking nowadays. But I mean, you know, as far as being grateful, I mean, I could never be more grateful that you did everything that you did for me, which was more than a lot of people would do, you know? I mean, you never gave up on me, ever. No. Ever.
No, never will either.
No.
No reason to. Because eventually you would get there. Look at you now, a blooming triathlete as well. Hey, a little superstar now. Winning races, dedicating your time to working out and getting strong and helping. I think that's the thing I'm most proud about, that you help others now to get through what you got through. And that's good.
I love you.
I love you too, darling. Now I need your tissue. Baby girl. Can I get a tissue?